Hi everyone, Menachem Brodie here from Vortex Training, here today to talk to you about helmets. You'll notice this helmet is missing a nice chunk out of it. I had an accident yesterday. I wanted to share with you guys today how to choose a helmet and how to make sure it fits properly. This is something that I see over and over again. New riders buy the nicest helmets or just buy a helmet. They don't understand that there's sizing and a certain way to wear the helmet. Now, one of the things experienced riders may not know or follow is the fact that your helmet is only good for one drop or one hit. So if you ever fall at all, even if you don't see visible cracks, and you guys, I don't know if you can see, but there is a crack right in through the back here. There's also, you can see the crack up here, right there, and it's all the way through the front. That's not always that obvious when you fall. So anytime you hit your head, even though the outside looks like it may be fine, it is always the best idea to get rid of the helmet and buy a new one. I know that they're expensive. However, the helmets are made to save your life. They're only made to take one impact, and that's it. So if you take your helmet off in disgust and throw it down, that helmet's done. So if you're buying a $300 or $400 helmet, know that you just destroyed that helmet and you need a new one, even if it doesn't look like it's damaged. You'll notice in the back here, there's also cracks back here. So the first one I notice obviously is the piece that's missing, since my forehead wound up on the side or the back of the bus, as well as a scuff here. So you'll notice there's a scuff here, but there is no crack here because the helmet took that and divvied that out up in through here. So it's not always where your head hit, but it's going to be somewhere else in the helmet. So once you hit it once, get rid of that helmet. Now, with this helmet, all helmets have to pass the international safety standards. As far as I know, there is not a single helmet in the US that is being sold without being cleared. But even though a $50 helmet will do the same job as a $350 helmet, we need to make sure that it fits right. You can have a great helmet, expensive, newest, flashiest, but if you don't wear it right, you're going to have issues. So when you wear the helmet, I always recommend people buy one that has a zip tie on the back of some sort. So this is a specialized echelon, which is 2.5 years old and now retired. Here we have my commuter replacement for that, which is a specialized Prospero, and you'll notice it has on the back a zip tie here. And this is very important because it's going to allow us to take that helmet and keep it nice and firm on our head. Now the first thing that you're going to notice when I put my helmet on is it's not sitting where my forehead can be seen. This is a sign either the helmet is too far back or it is too small. If you can see more, if you can get more than 2 finger widths above your eyebrow, right at the eyebrow and going above, that helmet is too small or it's too far back. Now on the back side, we want to make sure that this is sitting on your occiput. That's where if you put your hand on the back of the head, you can kind of cup your head. This is very important because we want to be able to keep that helmet nice and firm by using the latching system. Okay, so there's lots of different systems. I'll show you the Laser O2, which is my new training helmet. I'll show you that in a moment. Now on the side, you're going to notice that I have about 2 fingers, so I like to call it the 2-finger rule, above my ears. Some helmets will sit a little bit lower, as you'll see with the Laser, but we want to make sure that it's definitely no more than 2 fingers over the ear if it is shaped to come around the ear. If it is not, if it's a flat, we want to be within 1.5 of the tip of the ear. This is very important because we want to protect your cranium and your brain. So you're going to notice I tie the zip tie. I do not have these the clip in, but if I pull on the helmet, as hard as I pull on it, it is not going to come off my head. This is why it's important to have a zip tie system and or a helmet that fits your head shape. Don't just go to one shop, try on the helmets and say, oh, I guess this one's okay. Make sure it has a zip tie system in the back, as well as it fits your head properly. So again, you want it nice and even. You're going to use that zip tie on the back, and we want to make sure there's no more than 2 fingers. We also want to make sure that it's not too down low. This is the sign that a helmet is too big for you, is that it's going to be right at the eyebrows. You're going to notice that this is just above my eyebrow. I have 1 finger width. So very, very important, and we also want to make sure that there is no more, again, 2-finger rule. You should not be able to get more than 2 fingers underneath, and always make sure that you're adjusting the strap at the ear here, some of these helmets like the Laser have an adjustable. This is an adjustment most people miss but is very important. So this is the Specialized Prospero 2. And you'll notice each time I have to undo the zip. I personally like that because it reminds me the helmet is on my head. Now, here's my training helmet. This is the Laser 02. Now, some of you may notice, where's that zip tie on the back? Get to know the helmet brands and where they put them, because Laser, there's actually a dial on the top as it works with the cable system as opposed to plastic. So a little bit more expensive. This is a Belgian-made product. You guys will notice I have my cat ears on here, which I really like. For 20 bucks, it keeps wind out of my ears so I can actually hear what's going on behind me. I can't tell you how many times in a group ride or a race that people are surprised that I just take off right before they get my wheel. And it's also a safety thing. You'll notice here we have the adjustments to be able to keep the ear higher or lower. And this is important because we want to have this helmet sitting nice and snug under the ear here, okay? So we don't want to have this all the way down and hanging where there's a lot of space. It's going to keep the straps from flapping in the wind, as well as help the helmet stay nice and solid on your head. Now, aside from the cat ears making me look like I'm from the 70s and have signbirds that I can't, you'll notice that this helmet is easily moved if I do not use the turnstile or the click, the zip to bring it in. So we want to make sure that we have the right helmet size. So the Laser 02 comes in a universal size. Always, even if it's a universal size, always try it on. The Specialized helmets come in small, medium, large, extra small, small, medium, large, extra large. So always make sure you're trying on different sizes, and again, we want it to fit. So you noticed a minute ago I was able to pull that helmet off my head. Now not so much. So if I tighten this even more, now again, I don't have the strap done, but you can see the 2-finger rule is well within. On the side as well, we have 1 finger, even with the cutout here, and the back of my head is nice and protected. Now with road bikes, you're not going to see the helmet come down around the occiput. This is because we're in the position where we have our head forward and we need that clearance. However, mountain bike helmets will have that come down. That is because they figure you're going a slower speed, you can fall backwards. So know that that is a difference. Now, we have the ears adjusted nice and even. The cat ears are held in place by this as well. The straps are not going to flap. And again, that 2-finger rule. I like this helmet a little bit looser because I have more of a differential and I'm looking up higher, so it's not going to choke me on the Adam's apple here. But this is how you have a proper fitting helmet. Now, I tried on the large size for the helium, and that large size was right here. The small was here. Okay, I wasn't even able to get it on my head. So a helmet is not a helmet. We want the helmet to fit properly. So make sure you have the 2-finger rule, at least 1 finger, the eyebrow. We want to have 1 finger, the eyebrow, the ear, depending on the shape of the helmet. We want to have a zip tie system that is going to allow us to put that on and cradle the cranium in through the occiput. And you'll notice that the 02 and some of the Laser helmets and others don't, it actually has an adjustment back here so that I can move this up or down for my occiput. So don't just try the helmet on. If you see that there's an adjustment back here, ask the store staff to help you adjust it. And you may find that it may be too short or too big initially, but that's just because of the person before you. So this is how you choose a proper helmet. One last word of advice is you want to buy a new helmet every 2 to 3 years because the product breaks down. The foam will break down after 2.5 to 3.5 years. So even if your helmet is fine, you never took a tumble, never threw it, never dropped it on the floor, you still want to replace it every 2 to 3 years. And there's nothing like new helmet day as long as you didn't crash in it. So that's how to choose a proper fitting helmet. Again, please make sure you're not riding around like this, you're not riding around like this, and you're not riding around here. Make sure that that helmet is gripping nice and solid. Always make sure to use the zip tie every time you put that helmet on, no matter how far you're going. Buckle the buckle, 2 fingers here, 1 to 2 fingers here, 1 to 2 fingers here, and that is all she wrote. So that is selecting a helmet and fitting a helmet. Remember, train smarter, not harder. It's all about the cat ears and you.